What's up, guys? I just want to make this quick video and talk about friends. Now, friends, they could be, you choose, obviously, you choose your own friends, you choose who to hang around, you choose this, that, the third, and whatnot. But I don't know. It feels like nowadays there's never no true friends. And the only reason I say that is because not too long ago, literally like this week, literally, I went and go ahead and just distance myself away from everybody. Now I now like I said, I distance myself away from everybody just to get a grasp of life and just take time to me. Because growing up, when my teenage years, I'm still a teenager, obviously, but back then when I was a bit younger, all I tend to do was put everybody first. And I didn't realize that it would do nothing but just lead me into like a bad rabbit hole and whatnot. And what I would do is just I would constantly jump relationship into relationship thinking it would help. And that wasn't the case. And it was just I was just lost and I thought being in a relationship would help me. But it turns out I just needed time to myself. And and that's exactly what I did recently. And recently, as in now, I'm getting closer to God. I'm getting my life together and I'm starting to do things that I enjoy. But at the meantime, I was also as well trying to see what true friends I had, right? And just kind of see or just not necessarily see what true friends I've had, but just kind of just distance myself to have time to me because I tend to, always be on my phone, always listen to music, just, consuming. And I would never, sit there with my thoughts. And I realized that not sitting there with your thoughts really does something to a person. Because when you're not sitting there with your thoughts, you're not using your brain. You're just, consuming, and you're never just actually using your brain. And that can really suck for, most of us, especially, being young. And that's kind of what I decided to do. Just kind of take time to myself, do the things that I never took time out of my day to enjoy, and it has nobody to blame. It's nobody's fault. It's not my parents, not my teachers, not my friends. It's simply my fault. And as I came to the realization, I don't really have friends as much as I thought I did, and it's okay with me. The only reason I tend to say that is because the only reason I tend to say that is because, I've literally took time to myself and just kind of distanced myself away from everybody. And I didn't let everybody know, but I let, obviously a few people know. And I could tell those who cared which friends cared and which ones didn't because 9 times out of 10, they didn't text me, they didn't say where you been. And obviously, I understand people have their own lives, don't get me wrong. But it's just kind of weird how everybody had enough time and kind of just I guess just decided to just ignore me in a way because the thing I did was I did it Sunday night until today's date, Wednesday, July 1st. And it's kind of odd how, you know, not everybody sees me as their friend. And, it's nothing wrong with that 100% because at the end of the day, I came to the realization that being alone doesn't really, suck. And the and I tend to, always kind of necessarily do things my own or kind of just be alone when it comes to let's say recently playing the guitar or playing the game right now and stuff like that. But yeah, I tend to really do stuff alone and it's nobody to blame 100% my fault. But it's just today's society as well. Everybody's just so stuck up on their phones. Everybody just wants to listen, just listen to others people's opinion and stuff like that. And people don't think for themselves and stuff like that. So it's just kind of weird. But at the end of the day, you know your worth and you know what you value yourself in. So the best thing that I've just came up with is just surrounding myself with like-minded people. And this is kind of what brought me to make this video, is just kind of see who else may or may not feel the same or may be going through the same thing, my fault. Who else may be going through the same thing, that they feel like, there's not really a handful of people you call friends, not really like time that you gave yourself. And I've came to the just realization that I need time to myself, and that I'm still learning things and I'm still young, so I might as well explore and take all this time that I have and do the things that I enjoy in life. And one of the grateful things for me, thank God as well, um, I graduated high school early, and at 17, graduating high school is feels pretty weird, but not necessarily I feel left behind or necessarily I feel ahead of everyone, because at the end of the day, I'm still like just exactly how every regular 17-year-old is, just no more school, and I plan on doing, a lot of things in life that interest me, because I don't necessarily have a goal in life or necessarily know exactly what I want to do with my life, and that's okay. As long as I just do something about it every day and, you know, take time out of my day to figure out exactly what I find interest in, and which is exactly what I'm doing, I'll be fine. And, I came to the realization that, life isn't just about purpose. You have to have fun in life, because if you're just sitting there miserable or just sitting there working on one goal and it's just taking up all your time and you feel drained after doing it, then maybe it's not such a good idea. And it's nothing wrong with trying to take your life serious 100%. It's nothing wrong with trying to focus on you. But I feel like you just need to balance it out. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm trying to balance out my relationship with God, my relationship with work as well, because I tend to, get distracted on my phone, and there's nothing wrong with that. We're all humans, but I'm trying to be disciplined. I'm trying to do better. And I realized that, I don't really have the urges of picking up the phone or texting people, because it's just like at the end of the day, people are doing their own thing. I'm doing my thing. I might as well just go ahead and do what I'm doing at the present and live in the present and not be so worried about trying to interact with my friends and see what they're doing, because they're most likely doing something as well. And if they're not, then they can always just text me and say, have a regular conversation, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you know I feel like I said, it's just like I feel as if I don't really have as much friends as I thought. And it's nothing wrong. It doesn't really affect me in a way, but it like it does, obviously, in a way. But at the end of the day, I've came to the realization that being alone, it's a lot of benefits, let's say that. Because when you tend to be alone, you you have time to yourself, and you have your thoughts, and you have your own ideas, and you're your own person. So for you to be alone and you know actually take time to figure out what you want to do with life is nice. And to fit and like once you start doing things in life and keep your mind busy, you kind of just like forget about everyone. And that's kind of what I've been feeling like recently. It just feels like yeah, I have friends and all that, but I tend to just kind of forget, because I'm always I'm always doing little things that help me or like bring me happiness, because it's what I like and it's what I do. And it's like I have the time and I have the effort, so I might as well go ahead and do it now as much as possible. Because at the end of the day, you can die right now. And it's not to scare you, and it's not, it's reality. That's what it is, because we don't live to see the day, you turn 20. It sounds kind of harsh, but you just never know what happens in life. And I feel like as if you live that day, today would be my last day, I would be pretty fine with it, because I did little goals to help me um get to where I want to be in life. And like I said, I really am into music and maybe am pursuing to be an artist or a producer because just music in general really has helped me in life and it really did impact me as a person. So that's really why I enjoy music, and I feel like it's so inspirational and feels like it's like one of the fields that I could genuinely work on. And yeah, it just feels like music is just one of those things I wouldn't mind waking up and doing, but I also like doing hands-on work. So I'm also looking into HVAC. But like I said, I'm young. I just need to take it little by little. I don't have to sit there and drown myself into HVAC or drown myself into music because I'm still young. And I have interests in other things, not just those two. So I might as well just take it little by little and do what I want and do what interests me as well. And yeah, I feel like in life you just slowly become who you are when you do things. So if you enjoyed this video, leave a like and comment and let me know how your thoughts, excuse me. Let me know your thoughts about this and maybe I'll make another video. Thank you guys and I hope you guys enjoyed.